Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Let's start this. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Now I can hear myself. Let's start this. I gotta see. Okay. Hello, Kyle. Hello, everybody in the chat. It's Avengers Day. Aren't you excited? Look at this beautiful Avengers standing next to Kyle. This is the Pro Machine. And we're so excited to bring in our special guest, lead engineer Harrison Drake. But before we get into that, we have a few other announcements to tell you guys, which is one, of course, we have our free shipping for orders over $99 code for today.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of our PinTech dealie that we always do. So I'm going to drop that in the chat for y'all.
What is it today?
The code is PT-assemble.
Oh, nice.
So PinTech-PT-assemble.
Who gets the credit
That's
for
up
coming
for
up with that
24
one?
hours. Oh, Jay Bovenzi, I'm glad you liked your mask and keychain. That's awesome. Welcome, everyone. The other thing is we are going to do every 30 minutes. We're going to take a quick little break. Hopefully I won't interrupt Kyle and Harrison too much with this, but we do have some cool giveaways. So if you want in on this giveaway, I'm going to do a random drawing every 30 minutes. Here is the sign up link. If you've already signed up, then you're good. Your name's on the list. My auto generator actually will remove names if they're duplicated. Stop trying to cheat the system. I'm just kidding. No one tries to cheat the system.
No.
But yeah, we'll be giving away that awesome Avengers banner right there. Project Pinball is doing another raffle. They're doing a raffle for an Avengers Premium, which is super amazing. And so we're going to give away a few raffle tickets. You know, the whole giveaway a raffle ticket for a raffle. It's classy, right? If you want a better chance of winning that game, you can actually donate to Project Pinball and get your own raffle ticket. Increase your odds. It's like 200 entries every time. So the odds are really, really good.
The odds are in your favor.
I know a lot of people who have won. I personally have not won yet. But one day. It's good. It's a good tax write-off at the end of the year.
And you're donating to a good cause, and you get something really cool if you win. So it's really a win-win-win situation. So
absolutely. I feel kind of sad. I wish I put some like Avengers style super epic music right now and like something.
Yeah, it'll make me standing next to this pinball machine like look way cooler than it actually is. But you know.
So Kyle, you just got in this machine. You set it up. How was the setup?
It's
Anything
always very
special
easy.
with it?
No.
Always very easy.
No, it's very simple. Very similar to how we set the turtles up, but since there's a lot of people setting up pinball machines, right? There's a lot of great instructions on how to do that, including a few that I've helped put together. But no, super simple. These games are really light. They're very easy to do by yourself, much easier to do with a helper. Yeah, went together nice. We've been playing it a lot. I don't know if any of y'all joined in last Friday. We streamed this game for about 2 hours, and it is a hoot.
I didn't even get to see that stream because I was dealing with the crazy Hurricane Sally knocked us.
Well, we're glad you're back and
Thank
safe
you.
and sound, and you have internet and power like way faster than you thought you would, which is like 2 thumbs
It's crazy. So we live right by a small airport that the military uses a lot. So that attributed to why we got power at our grid faster than everyone else.
Well, that's good. We're glad for you. So
Thank
bummer you
thank
weren't there. It was pretty fun. I'm excited to play this game again tonight. We've been playing it a lot, and I really enjoy it. So.
Yep. So we're playing it. What do you say, like 8 p.m. Eastern?
Yeah, that sounds right. I think we advertised 8 to 10, and that's probably about as much as I can take tonight. So we'll see.
Yeah, I want to set up a few challenges for y'all, battling challenges, and then we'll do some trivia and some other giveaways and stuff for everyone too there. So
the game's got some good challenge in it. There's one mode where you're like fighting for one of their gems, right? One of the soul gems, and it's like you only have a certain amount of flips to complete the shot progression, and it's like my goal to finish that. It is really tough, and it really puts you on the edge of your, the game, right? You're on the edge of your seat. It's really tough. You drain the ball, you lose 5 flips, and it's really fun. I'm sure you'll see me fail at it many times tonight. So it's a good game.
That's awesome. All right. Well, what other housekeeping do I have? Oh, well, so today we're going to do the deep dive into the mechs. We have the lead engineer, and we like the innards of the game. So maybe not as much gameplay rules specific, but Dead Flip has an awesome, when he did their launch, him and Keith and Raymond broke down the game with all the rules and everything. It's a really great watch. There's also great, super awesome pinball show podcast. They had Keith on that podcast, and that was a very entertaining interview.
Cool.
Keith is really funny in his interviews. So I recommend everyone to check that out and listen to it as well if you want more insiders of how it took to make this game.
I watched Jack Danger play this game. I watched that stream. And when they were trying to explain the rules, it was kind of like, oh yeah, I get this, and then it went to a point where it's just like all over my head. It is quite complicated, but in an exciting way. It's not a grind. It's a really fun game.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get lucky tonight and have like Mike Vinacourt in the chat to give us some tips on how to play
I might have
a
to
little
text
bit better.
him. Mike, help me play better. Give me that advantage. But yeah, I don't think we have any more housekeeping. Maybe it's best to bring our guest out and look at some of the fun stuff in the game.
Kyle's like, let's get into it. Let's get into it.
There's this spinning disc. It's cool.
Wow. Yeah, I really want to talk about the spinning disc. And so does anyone know what the storyline is for the game? Do you know, Kyle? I want to put you on the spot. I know it.
I specifically asked you to avoid this question.
I know.
The last superhero movie I saw Black Panther, but the movie I saw before that was Spider-Man in 2003.
Everyone says ish.
So I am, this is all not my wheelhouse.
Well, in this game, and if I'm getting this right, Harrison, who's waiting to jump on, can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a Thanos storyline. You are fighting to get all the stones, and each Black Order member is trying to get the stone to Thanos, and you must stop them. And then Doctor Strange kind of helps you portal around to defeat those guys before Thanos gets all the stones.
I did make Marco laugh really loud when I called him Mr. Strange. He thought that was very funny, and I didn't know why, but he's a doctor, not a mister.
Doctor Who, Doctor Strange.
I'm sorry. I'm nerdy about one thing and one thing only, and it's pinball, so my bad.
Yep, Magic Ditto says it seems to loosely follow the Infinity Gauntlet comic storyline. Yeah. Well, I'm going to start my countdown for the giveaways because I know everyone wants to win free stuff. That's always the best part, right? Now, the best part is introducing Harrison Drake, who is the lead engineer at Stern Pinball, and we're going to learn a little bit more about him now. Harrison, I am going to add you in now with just one click
Through internet
button.
magic, we are going to make his face appear on the screen somehow. Hey, there
he is. He's laughing. All right, go ahead and unmute yourself for me, Harrison.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
Yay!
What's up, man?
We're doing great. Everyone in the chat's excited. So, Kyle, I'll let you do most of the interviewing, but Harrison, just start off. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got to where you are now.
Yeah. So again, I'm kind of Keith's engineer at Stern. Got hired on 3 years ago, right when Iron Maiden was just starting up. George was creating a new pinball team to work on that project. So myself, Keith, Rick, all got hired on specifically to do that game, and it's been 3 years now, 3 games, and working on the 4th.
That's amazing. And so, were you a big pinball fanatic before this all happened, or pinball chose you?
I had never touched a pinball machine before I worked here. Just.
And now you're making some of the greatest machines we've ever seen. So
I've been told.
We have a question from the chat. Is a premium on the line? Is that something?
Ellie's are.
Ellie's first. The Ellie's are so beautiful too.
They're like on day 4, armor. I think, of Ellie pack. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, when I talked with you last week, like the first Ellie went into the box, right? So.
Yeah, last Friday, the first one got pushed into the box. So.
Slowly.
Just been churning ever since.
Very cool. So never touched a pinball machine before. Maybe that gives you a really good outlook, though, because you have fresh eyes.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I think it does. Coming in, Stern had their engineering crew here for a while. And then Elliot, who's actually how I got my connection to Stern, he had started here in 2015. Mm-hmm. So he was new, and then, George says, hey, you know anyone else? And then I was the next phone call for Elliot. So that's kind of how I got my in. Oh. But yeah, I think being new to the industry and new to pinball in general is, it's always good to get a fresh set of eyes on stuff. Kind of challenges the norms and gets people that have been doing this for 20 years, sometimes thinking about, new ways, new improvements, new ways to do things.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's, and I think that shows in the couple games you've worked on with Keith. And I guess let's start at the beginning. So you were telling me a story that I thought was kind of neat, right? Okay, you got hired on, you're a baby engineer, and they're like, hey, Harrison, let's give you a project. So what was your first project? The first thing you did when you started drafting stuff?
So when I started here, I was only 23 years old. I was a year out of college. It was the new guy in the industry, right? George makes me an offer. I start, and my trial by fire, so to speak, my employee training was I did one ball guide on Star Wars.
Just one.
That was like my first week on the job. It's the left inner wired ball guide. That was my part.
Left inner.
Behind the left spinner. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Huh.
The right. Yeah, that's me. So that was kind of like my trial by fire. Was, hey, there's this guy Steve Ritchie. He made a new ball guide, and Elliot's busy getting production started. So hey, can you take care of it? So that was the first week. But then shortly after that, moved right into Iron Maiden.
All right. And Steve didn't scare you away then, obviously.
Steve's a character.
Well, Steve scared him away, so that's why he's Keith's guy, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's go with that.
The shorts were so comforting. You had to get away from Steve and go to Shortsman. Well, that's cool. So Iron Maiden, right? So we all know that, well, most of us probably know that game started. Keith designed a lot of it, but it had to be standardized and brought down and fit inside the Stern hardware cabinet, the Stern package, right? So really quick, what are some memorable things you worked on Iron Maiden? The things you enjoyed most?
Yeah, so again, that was like my trial by fire was Iron Maiden, right? So, and again, that game has a lot of new innovative mechs on it, right? Like the up-down disc or scoop in the middle of the playfield, the whole sarcophagus mechanism. Honestly, probably the two biggest challenges and kind of things to solve on that game right out of the gate were the Newton ball, the infamous Iron Maiden Newton ball.
Those are cool.
And then the second one was actually the tomb diverter on the left ramp. So due to where he had placed that and what it had to do to have that secondary exit to feed over to the sarcophagus, packaging a mech in there between both the back panel, the back of the cabinet, and that little vacuum formed subway through the back panel, that was a real challenge on there. But then I'm doing that, which are, challenging, complicated mechs on top of, learning the ropes, like what is a pop bumper, what are drop targets,
Sure.
Oh my God, there's two different sides of flippers, which makes total sense. But, there's a left and a right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So.
Okay. And then Black Knight was after that. You did say that you did the upper playfield on Black Knight, correct?
Yeah. So right after Iron Maiden shipped in April 2018, basically, Keith was off doing his beginning what became Jurassic Park design process for that. And Black Knight, that's a big game. That's a complicated game, especially those premium models. So John Rothamel, the manager here, is like, hey, I need some help as Steve's overwhelming me. So jumped in over to that. And, that game with the upper and lower playfield, it kind of is a nice even split of, hey, we'll let the new guy do the upper one. It's only half a game. And, he'll tackle the both Steve and the lower half of that game. So I had done all the engineering work for the top half, essentially, of Black Knight.
Okay.
And then I had actually worked at a toy company way back in college intern years. So when we were trying to do the Black Knight sculpt in the middle of the playfield, I kind of got involved there because I was a little bit more familiar with doing, organic surface edits and getting stuff ready for manufacturing.
Very cool. So you definitely had a good in with George then, right? Because I know George Gomez worked in the toy industry for quite some time, going in and out of CoinOp, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't even know the name George Gomez till he sent me an interview request. But I mean, I have a background in toys. George has a background in toys. So it was a really good thing to, talk with them about during that interview. I think that was a key factor in my hiring. But
very cool. And how many screws is it to take the upper playfield off on Black Knight Sword of Rage?
I think it's 4.
Yes, you're right. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so awesome. It's easy to service. It makes
I will say I think Black Knight 2000 still has that system beat, but
oh yeah. Well, Steve told me
with the whole hinged playfield.
Yeah. When I think I told you the story. We had I had to change the upper flipper bat at a pinball show, and Steve was watching me. He's like, there's only 4 screws to take that playfield off. I'm like, very cool. He's like, I didn't have Williams money to engineer the top playfield, but man, I still think this is a great game. And then he walked off, and I was like, thanks, Steve. That's pretty cool.
That sounds like Steve. Yeah.
Black Knight 2000, though, it had one 832 screw, and then the whole thing.
Yeah, there's one in the back, and then the whole thing hinges up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too exorbitant. It's not necessary, but it's awesome. But I think 4 screws is a fine job. So thank you. In 10 years, people like me will be very happy to take those things apart. Okay, Black Knight, that's great, awesome game. And then Jurassic Park comes out, and that game had a lot going on too.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was a beast of a game. So that actually the room I'm in now was kind of where Keith, laid out the origins of Jurassic Park. So on all of our games, Iron Maiden, Watson is Avengers. We'll get to that. And then game number 4, we always start the game development process, or Keith does, right? Just taking old ball guides off the shelf, kind of bending them into shapes, figuring out where he wants to place shots, where he wants to place posts. He'll do some AutoCAD work just to sanity check what he's laying out. And kind of hand build what we call Whitewood Zero. So it's kind of like a fake game. It's somewhere between just theoretical CAD and a homebrew. The homebrews are actually probably better built than those Whitewood Zeros. But it's just to get the core of the game down. And that's really where we try to figure out if a game's fun or not, right? If, the game's not fun when there's no lights and there's no mechs and there's no anything, right? If it's not fun then, it's not going to be fun when it's finished.
Absolutely.
That's generally when I start to get involved with game development with Keith, is when he's working on ideations of playfields. I'm kind of providing insight on what's possible, how complicated something would be, working out we call it the coil budget, but it's really the basically how many different things do we have to do independently, and how many core nodes for our spike system does that require to actually accomplish. So it's really a feasibility analysis. So I'm highly involved very early in the process just to get stuff kind of pointed in the right direction. But as far as what the game does and what it is, that's all Keith.
Yeah, you're the you told me you're the dream maker, right?
Yeah.
you turn these ideas into reality. That's the beautiful part, right?
Yeah, I want this. Now you have to figure out how to do it, please.
Yeah, it's a joke that Elliot, one of the other engineers here, and myself has is we get these game designers that they dream big, and then we kind of have to bring it into reality. So next time I order business cards, I'm definitely changing my title. But
oh, dream maker.
I love it. That's great. Yeah, in Jurassic Park, I mean, there's a billion things we could talk about. This isn't a Jurassic Park stream, but let's talk about the crown jewel of the game, like the crazy dinosaur. Was that all you? I'm sure you had a couple other brilliant minds to help you out with that thing, yeah? Or no?
From the mechanical side and the project engineering side, that was me. But mechanisms are great. You still need electronics and you still need software. So we got a really good hardware systems level team here. Andrew Pines, Mark Guidarelli, Simon Sunblade, Chuck Blake, those guys. And then Rick did a ton of work on integrating the new drivers and boards that they had written into the game code to get that thing to work. So, I might be the lead engineer, but there's a whole slew of people that are backing up the technical aspects that aren't necessarily my domain of knowledge.
Absolutely. Was there any sort of special drivers that went into the T-Rex? I don't remember the electrical hardware that went into that thing.
For the T-Rex? Yeah, so that one, we ended up developing a new stepper driver motor board on the back of that. And then we had to do a lot of, we'll say, improvement to our stepper driver code. Because the original stepper driver code was actually developed for the Wonelli scoring reels. Which are significantly less complicated than what that T-Rex needed. So
yeah, they step in degrees,
there,
not angles and moments. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So there was a lot of essentially reevaluation or re-engineering of what that was to make it into what we needed for the T-Rex. Rick definitely lost a few hairs over that thing.
Oh, it's very cool, and that game shines because of that amazing moving dinosaur. And if it doesn't have the amazing moving dinosaur, the pro's awesome too. So, okay, Jurassic Park. Now, that was game
number. Now we're on to
number.
Avengers, right?
Yes, we can move. Oh, unless there's anything in
Let's talk
between.
about Avengers. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, so Jurassic ships. Yeah, that was right around when we were starting up doing the Avengers concept work on the Playfield, kind of figuring out what it is, where the shots, what do the ramps look like. I tried to dig it up for you guys. I actually have a screen grab with Keith and I doing concept work on these ramps. And the way I kind of do it is, he'll give me some AutoCAD or pencil sketch or something, or we'll just talk through it. And I actually made these cylinders, 3D cylinders in SolidWorks just to figure out all the routing. Thing looked like a water park because it's not the real wireforms. It's literally just looks like a colored cylinder through space to figure out the ramps.
Sure.
So we'll do a lot of our early ideation on what the ramps do, where they go, that sort of figure out the high level technical aspects of that, really early in the process before we get too deep down the, okay, where does it mount, path.
Yeah, you got to make sure you could fit it all before you try to get it to stick to the playfield, right?
Yeah.
And I think that again, when you're looking at the Pro, it does have a ridiculous amount of vertical space usage, but when you look at something like the premium version that has one other massive wire form, it definitely kind of looks like a crazy water park or like something you'd make in Roller Coaster Tycoon, which is awesome. Well, explain some challenge to that, right? I mean, not only does it need to fit, but the ball also needs to go, right? So they need to be at the right angle for the ball to enter, do its thing, and then also be at the correct angle to come back towards the flippers. I mean, how do you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, so that was that probably by far the most complicated like ball element that I've worked on.
The package or just like the Captain Marvel ramp?
The Captain Marvel ramp specifically. I mean, that thing probably had 4 or 5 different iterations of tuning in that shot to get it to be what it is. Initially, so when it started out on our Whitewood Zero hack and slash, Whitewood, Keith had taken a Jurassic Park, one of the the little U-turn ramps, cut the top off of it. Then he took the Helix ramp from Jurassic Park and kind of stuck it in sideways. So like, we're going to do this. This is what I want in the game. I'm like, okay. So from there, him and I kind of worked out a rough path of where it's going to go. So it's like, okay, it's a right flipper return. We needed to cross over. It's probably going to end up having to go over the shooter lane because of that stuff you got going over on the right. Figure that out. And from there, that turned it into a water park, tube layout. Like, yeah, that's cool. And then from there, took it in all the way through to the first iteration. One of the really subtle things about that ramp that isn't apparent when you first look at it is it's not actually vertical. So the big thing we always got to remember.
On that ramp he's talking about?
That ramp is only on the premium. So I was going to say, if anyone wants to follow along at home, if you go to Stern's website, there is photos of the premium. If you go look by game, and you can kind of see what we're talking about. If you want to zoom in here, though, I mean, this is the area we're talking about. On the Pro, the Captain Marvel shot is a shot into a spinner with a quick U-turn back into the right orbit. On the Premium, there is a ridiculous wire form that comes up and down and then back into the right in-lane. Harrison, is that correct?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, the big thing that's not obvious on that is, if you make a ramp that's actually vertical, right, and then put it at 6.5, 7 degrees, now all of a sudden it's leaning towards the player. It's not actually vertical.
Yep.
The other thing too is if it's straight vertical, there's a chance that it's not actually sitting on the wires. So one of the big iterations we had to do that I think it changed on every single one until the very last one when we got it where we want it, was we kept actually laying it down flatter and flatter towards the playfield. So right now it's sitting at like 15 degrees from vertical. So it's not vertical, it's 75 degrees, but it's a nice illusion. It looks new, it looks innovative. And I think it came out pretty nice.
Yeah, it looks exciting. I think that was the part where I got most awe-struck when we were watching the dealer distributor presentation videos. Wait, what? What does the ball do? That's what kind of pinball player I am. I like to play for points and stuff like that, but to me, the joy of pinball is making the ball do something really cool and then doing that all over again, right? And that shot looks really fun.
Yeah, that's how I am too. And that's what I was getting at earlier, right? Is like if it's not fun as a Whitewood with no lights, no sounds, no switches, no art, it's not going to be fun when it's done. I mean,
yeah, no amount of code can salvage a bad set of geometry or something like that.
Right. So if you can really nail down that fun factor in the playfield layout, like first thing, then you're going to be set for the rest of your game development.
Awesome. Well, we could talk about all the cool stuff on the premium, but let's focus on what we have in front of us so it's a little less, imagine if this thing was here, blah, blah, blah. The things that stand out to me are, first off, I think I like this shot. You've got the Black Panther shot that is in orbit, but when it goes around the orbit, it actually comes up a ramp, and it feeds back to the right flipper, which is kind of cool. I think that's a very unique shot. But we also do have 2 other ramps kind of here in the center. Zoom in on this kind of wide, these squash-shaped ramp. So
pot bellies are an internal term.
The pot belly ramp.
I like that.
Oh, I love that.
So I think this one's brilliant. The geometry is such where you can hit it very clean from the left flipper, but it also will have a very clean shot from the upper left flipper, right? So tell me about this. I mean, what was that always? What was the idea?
Is that to make it easier because it's wider?
So that's why. So we kind of that's kind of a happy accident. So that was originally just a regular straight wall ramp. You turn right to the gauntlet, and that was, I think it was Whitewood 1. So like the first real parts, like routed Playfield. We're sitting there messing around with it in the lab, and we realized it's like, hey, you can hit this thing from the upper flipper. It's pretty cool. So that's one of those things. It's like, you get it from flipping it. You kind of see something cool, something fun that's in the game layout early, and we just leaned into it. So Keith ended up taking the prototype ramp, cut all the little attachment tabs off the right-hand side, bent it into that right side shape you see in the game now, and it just smoothed it out. Originally, when it was just a straight wall ramp, there was some concerns of blowing it out. So the arc is really there to kind of ease that load on the ramp, make it flow a little bit nicer, smoother into the shot.
So what he's saying about blowing it out, right, is if we had a straight wall ramp, something that went like this, hitting it with the upper flipper, the ball would have enough momentum, right, and force to jingle its way up. But with this curve, it allows for the ball to come in and ride this wall a little more gentle and make the actual transition there, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the big thing, and this isn't just ramps. This is all the ball guides too. Is it's still a ball. It's still hitting a piece of steel. So what you need to do is on those shot entrances is control how it bounces on that first contact. And doing something like that, rounding it out, gives a little bit of a shallower angle when it enters that ramp, so you get a smoother feed up into that shot.
Yeah.
And then the left side kind of just came from once we widened the right side, and then we're like, okay, you can still backhand this thing from the lower right flipper, so let's just do the exact same thing on that left side to get a nice smooth entrance feed up the left wall. So that's how you get the ramp you see in the game.
Gotcha. Okay, I've never tried. Actually, maybe I have tried backhanding it, but that is fun. And both of these ramps are very steep. The Black Widow ramp is substantially steeper, but that's neat. I'll have to give that a shot.
Yeah, that Black Widow ramp is actually kind of a funny story. So Keith does his layouts in AutoCAD, right? So it's top-down 2D. And then he drew the Black Panther ramp, and I'm like, oh, and then he drew the Hulk ramp. I'm like, okay, so we're like 3 ramps tall in this back left corner, right? You've got the regular shot, you've got the Black Panther ramp, and then okay, now you got a Black Widow ramp. That needs to go above the Black Panther shot. I'm like, you realize how tall this is going to be, right? He's like, yeah, we'll try it. It'll be fine. And first shot, straight up the middle, no problem, smooth as silk. So we're like, okay, we're going with it.
Wow.
Only then did we go and look, and it's actually, I think it's 37 degrees or something like that.
Wow.
So it's actually steeper than that Ghostbusters left ramp.
Wow.
Which everyone thinks is like the steepest ramp. This is more. It's pretty intense.
And it's I had this game set up pretty steep, and it's very satisfying to watch that ball just fly up that ramp when you hit it clean. If you do kind of jingle the shot a little bit and you don't hit it right, it is pretty brutal because it does come straight back down, and at that 37-degree angle, it comes back fast.
Yeah.
So, very cool.
Got to be paying attention.
Yeah, that's right.
We have a quick relevant question from the chat that I'd like to throw in there. We are going to do a Q&A later. If anyone has any questions for Harrison, I'm dropping that into a little note so we can do it. But Mugen for Life asked, why put 3 little rubbers on those posts to the left of the ramp rather than a 3/4 inch rubber? So I'd like to see what he's talking about, and let's get a zoom in on
I know,
that.
Yeah.
There's 3 posts right here. Can you get that?
Yeah, Vid, you're gonna have to walk over. Let me try to get on the wide.
Is there anything
okay,
relevant
yeah, nice.
about that?
Nice. You can see it there.
So the
oh yeah,
short
that
answer,
looks crazy. In a good way.
The short answer for that is that's what the game designer wanted.
Cool.
Honestly, I don't really know why he did that. I think they are smaller diameter slightly than what a 3/4 rubber would be.
What I was
going to
say is I think the 3/4 inch rubber would be too fat, and having those posts that close to the ramp, you would have to squish the rubber, and it would end up sticking out kind of weird towards the pop bumper. It might induce a worse feed. It would be very a tight squeeze to get an actual rubber ring instead of one of those like little donuts, the 27/64 or whatever. Around,
that looks so cool.
There.
I think honestly, it's just, it looks pretty, right? They're like spikes. they're like evil spikes going up there. We might as well have dual purposes, right?
Steve has dubbed those the pointy posts.
I like the pointy post.
The pointy post.
With the lighting kind of going off of it too. That's nice.
They come in 2 flavors, 1032 and 832. We like them. I guess since we're up here, let's start moving to the left. And I think the coolest thing, well, my favorite thing in the game is definitely the spinny disc. That is awesome. And okay, so we can go back and we kind of talked about this, but like recent games that used a spinny disc. Williams games, we got like Tales of the Arabian Nights, we've got the original Avengers, we talked about that for a second, and then I forgot about this one, but Batman 66 also has one in the turntable. How is this one different from, let's say, the Batman 66 ramp?
Yeah, this is the big thing.
Yeah, so the one thing that all those games you just had in common is they're double post ramps, or spinners, sorry. So you got to post on one side to post 180 degrees opposite of that.
Yeah, here and here.
Keith doesn't like those, and I get why. Big thing with all those is you'll feel like you got that shot set up. You're going to rip the spinner, hit the one post, and then immediately the other side post comes around and smacks your ball and kills all the spinner energy. So he brought in a safecracker spinner from the left side, which you have to go all the way back to safecracker, I believe, to get a single post spinning disc, which got all the play that he wanted out of that. So you can hit that one post, your ball's free and clear by the time that post comes around, and that thing will just spin for days. Big other change we've done, and this actually, the safecracker one had this. Batman did not. I haven't seen the underside of an original Avenger spinner, but we went away from the nyliner bushings that the thing spins in. So Batman and I believe the original Avengers just had like these snap-in nylon like bearings essentially into the sheet metal. Where if you go back to that safecracker spinner that really had that play that Keith was looking for, that was in regular, machined, reamed oilite bushings. So some real good stuff. So we went to a precision ground tool steel shaft on those. So we were just trying to go for the highest quality bearing fit, lowest drag on that spinner you could possibly get, plus the single post effect to avoid that, killing all the energy with the second post.
Yeah.
And I think it came out to one of the better spinners in pinball history. Playfield spinners.
And I'm not just saying this, I definitely would have to agree. The way the ball interacts with the post is fun in the sense like you'll rip it, but the ball will kind of get stuck into the orbit of the spinner. It's really neat. It's something you have to flip and get a feel for, but it is fun. The way it interacts with the ball is different. I also like how it will kind of impair some of your other shots depending on where the post is. And that does add for a little level of dynamic play, I guess. I know some people get frustrated, right, with the truck on Jurassic Park, and it's like, oh, it makes it harder to hit the already hard to hit smart missile, and that's kind of the point.
That's intentional, by the way.
You're supposed to set yourself up for success, right? Yeah. And it's something like that.
If you have the truck the other side, it won't let you do smart missile. It'll do super spinner. So that's intentional in the rules, yeah.
Huh. Good point. But it makes for an extraordinarily satisfying shot when you do ream it, right? You hit that smart missile and you're like, yes! Anyways.
Can we see that spinner in action, Kyle? Is that something?
Oh, we've been spinning it a little bit. I just think,
watch,
right?
Like, can you get a ball, like turn on the, get a game started?
We'll do that at the end.
Does the Pro lift up to, sorry if I missed you guys talking about, but, so I know the Premium I saw, it lifts up and then the ball goes under into this little carrier holder thing under the Playfield, which is so awesome. Is that the same type of features we get? Wow, that's
so not on Pro. So on the Pro, it's just a static, flat Playfield spinner. Again, model differentiation, some reliability. Totally. We really target our Pros towards street operation and entry-level home buyers, right?
Less
so they don't necessarily need something that's exactly.
Potentially. Maintenance, really, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pinball machine. At the end of the day, it's a steel ball flying around in a wooden box. Stuff is going to break, right? So if we can make it, less less painful for people if it does break. The better we're going to be off.
Sure.
And then if that's why we have our premium model. If you want all the bells and whistles and are willing to maybe put up with some extra maintenance, that's what it's there for.
So what is where that line is, where in the premium and LE the balls kind of like hang out in there? Is it just cool like RGB lighting under there to signify?
It's It's RGB on the premium LE to do some cool light shows for mode select, and then signify highlight balls that are locked. On Pro, it's just some standard whites, but we left the inserts in the playfield. So we've got a plastic on the backside to kind of give it like this 3D insert effect. And then we'll light those as locks happen.
That's awesome. How do I see that?
Can you zoom
Maybe
in?
I can see it on the top view.
Or do we have to get in the camera?
Well, because it's the angle. Let me see if I can get it from the top cam, maybe.
It's going to be hard. It does leave for a neat effect.
Oh man, yeah, that's cool. When we do after hours, I want you guys to drop the webcams and get some like spinner cam shot and all this
absolutely.
cool
We will
close-ups.
totally do that.
Oh yeah, I can see a little graphic plastic down there. That's awesome.
So,
well, it's time for a giveaway.
Good segue.
Everyone's excited. All right, everyone. I have gotten all the responses. That is so far. I'm putting it into my random generator, and this first prize is going to be for a raffle ticket for the Project Pinball's Premium Avengers. So with all the bells and whistles of a premium. And the winner is... Robert McBee.
Congratulations.
So Robert McBee, if you're here, raise your hand virtually. And shoot us an email to marcotv@marcopinball.com. I will put that in the chat, and we'll send you the information for it. So congratulations, Robert B.
Cool deal.
All right, back onto the show.
Back on. Okay. We left off at the cool spinning disc, and we definitely will revisit this because once we get to the more technical, if this isn't technical enough, there's some cool stuff going on underneath the playfield, how they measure what is going on with the disc. So we'll get to that, but let's continue moving left. We've got pop bumpers up here, but that's kind of a standard thing. We've got this tower here, which is supposed to be Iron Man's tower, right? Or is it the Avengers tower?
It is the Avengers tower.
Okay.
Yes.
So what?
I think Tony technically owns it, but it is the Avengers tower.
So in this game, it functions a few things, right? Like it will start a mode, but the ball gets staged in this tower. There is an electromagnet up underneath all the plastic that will capture and hold the ball while your glorious light show goes on because you did something good. Again, troubles, challenges, iterations. What's up with the tower? Any fun stories?
Yeah, so that thing, back when we were doing our really initial ideation for the game, honestly, that thing was just an outpost and a stand-up target. Mm-hmm. Nothing too crazy, nothing too innovative. And we're like, okay, we need to do something different here. So first iteration of that, we basically just said, okay, we got this target shot. Let's take the whole thing, bend it straight upwards, right? So it was just a little ramp up to a rubber pad, came back down, and we're like, okay, that's way too hard. Like, this thing is going to destroy new players. You're going to hit it up there, and it's going to be in the drain before you even realize what happened.
Yeah,
so,
it comes out like a rocket. When the magnet lets go, it's fast.
So now imagine that with no pause, and that's what it was. It was in and out like instantaneously. It was really hard.
Crazy.
So we're like, okay, we need to hold the ball up there. So we're like, up post, nah, don't like the up post. How about a magnet, right? We had just done Jurassic Park with the on-the-fly magnet catch in the T-Rex's mouth. We're like, okay, I got some of those parts laying around on the shelf. So we went, grabbed one of those, yanked out the rubber pad that was in there, stuck a magnet core in there, did some really dangerous hot wiring of a coil straight up to the Stern power supply, just to test it out. And first time we shoot it up, hits up the top of the ramp, keeps manually jumping 48 volts to a coil to get it to fire. Catches the ball first try. We're like, okay, we're doing that. That's too cool to not do it.
Cool.
So the other thing that's not obvious with that is it's actually a vary target on the game. So there's 3 sets of optos in there that can tell how far up the ramp the ball shot. That kind of came out of an idea Keith and I have been bouncing back and forth about, like a vertical Newton ball sort of thing.
I'm going to bring it closer to the game so we can kind of, it's neat, too neat to not see really quick. So sorry, I stole the camera.
Yeah, no problem.
So just so everyone can see, there's a couple holes. You won't be able to see the third, but these optos here, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, so again, I had done Black Knight Upper Playfield. Those are actually the exact same opto boards that are on the Black Knight catapult lock on the
That's
Upper
hilarious.
Playfield. We're like, okay, they're all set up for 1 ball spacing. We're going to use it as a lock, and those already had the lock lights on them. I'm like, this is a perfect fit. So reuse the parts there, always good. Don't need a new custom light board. And it worked perfectly for what we were trying to accomplish with, a vary target, a lock indicator, a magnet catch. So that's how you get it today. And then the whole plastic assembly on there was literally just like, okay, we need to pretty this thing up. It didn't start as the Avengers Tower, but we're like, okay, what's tall and building like in the Avengers world? The tower. So let's do
that works.
Make a little plastic sculpture for that. Yeah.
It's that theme integration that really helps you blend into the world under glass, right?
Yeah.
It's fun though. It's a neat toy, right? Yeah, and it's neat because it's used in a few modes. I mean, you start your modes there, but it also, just again, the way it stages, and we've got an up post right in front of it. So the ball will drop it, stage it on the up post, and it will allow you to do like the Hawkeye mode, so like some skill shotting sorts of things.
There's 3 main things. On LE and Pro, it's a little different because the subway's missing, so it's used for mode start on Pro. But the main 3 things in there is your actor record bonus, which, to be honest, I don't even know the rules for. And then the Hawkeye Challenge is the big centerpiece of that thing. So that you hit the 3 Hawkeye targets, qualify Hawkeye Challenge, shoot it up the tower, and it'll hold the ball there. It basically highlights a shot on the playfield. So I think the default one is like hitting the loop or the center Hawkeye target. And then it gives you a countdown, 3, 2, 1, drops the ball, and you have to, hit that shot right on the fly. And then after the first time, it gets harder and harder. And the hard Hawkeye Challenge drop is definitely the coolest, though. There's a random timer in there, so it's like 3, 2, 1, and then it pauses for some amount of time.
I like that.
It's pretty fun. Need some quick reflexes.
Yep.
That sounds really intense. How are you on playing the games, Harrison? Like when you walk up to a game that you created, can you like nail all the shots like a Keith or Raymond, or
no?
no.
Again, I hadn't touched a pinball until 3 years ago, so I think in some regards I'm kind of Keith's like, what can normal people do test for his games.
It's a good partnership.
Yeah, so it might be good to kind of suck at pinball. So he won't tell me that, but I think that's what he's using me for.
No, that's good. That's good.
He like prevents you from playing because he wants you to always suck at it.
Got to keep the control steady.
Yeah,
You'll get good through osmosis. If you just like hang around enough people who are really good at pinball, you'll just get good. One day you'll hit something, you'll be like, oh, I meant to do that. Oh, dang, I'm really good at this.
That helps with rules. It doesn't help you shoot better, but it helps with the rules.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's time to lift this thing up, and we should take a look at what's going on underneath.
Under the hood.
Under the hood. I'm going to move these cameras so don't get motion sickness, please.
Yeah, while he's doing that, Harrison, someone, Decoy327 asked, are there any Easter eggs in the game that you can reveal?
There's a few I know of. One of them actually showed up on a Jack Danger stream last week. Keith's got a thing for people that just hit AAA on their high scores, so do that for a surprise.
Oh, nice.
Does it work with 3 digits or 10 digits or both?
I know for sure it works on 3 A's.
Okay. So there we go. We have something to mess with.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like
okay,
all the
I gotta
A's
write that down for our after-hour stream.
I like it when people
I know
put
there's a
dad.
few more in there. I don't know if they're fully implemented yet, but they're coming.
That's fun.
Easter egg. Nice.
Let's start from the top bottom because...
It's beautiful. It looks super clean, too.
Actually, no. We start from the bottom to the top since everything's reversed.
Okay.
I guess because everything gets more interesting down here, but it's very standard, right? You've got your standard footprint sort of things, right? Auto launch, ball trough, a node board, some flippers, slingshots. We start getting into some LED boards, but one fun thing, drop targets. We don't see a lot of drop targets in pro games lately, which is very exciting. I don't know. I like drop targets. If there's anything, like I was saying earlier, drop targets and a spinner. That's all the pinball game needs to be great, in my opinion. But I'm probably in the minority there. Let's focus on the spinning disc. This is the coolest part of the game, I think. But if we look here, right, there's no switches. There's no, plastic bits with opto cutouts for an optical sensor to watch this thing. What's going on here?
Yeah, so again, we were trying to go for the best spinning spinner that pinball's seen, right? So big thing there is you have to reduce how much mass you're actually spinning, and you have to reduce any mechanical drag on the spinner. Those are the two things you have to watch out for. Otherwise, you're going to have problems. So to do that, again, we went away from the nylon to the oilite bushings. And then the other thing is we had to both reduce spinning mass and reduce drag. So the way to do that, contactless sensing, right? So there's no mechanical switch dragging on there. There's no, additional friction outside the bearings. And then again, to reduce spinning.
Can I throw up those pictures?
That's the premium ones, the ones I sent.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about how the premiums differ really quick, but let's. This thing is it's very elegant.
So again, the other half of that, right? To reduce spinning mass, if you have optos in there, that means you need an opto interrupter wheel, right? Which you can't make really small diameter because you need blocked and unblocked sections of the wheel. You need a certain number of sections. So got together with our systems guys. They had sort of been brainstorming this up, and we had a perfect application for it. So this is actually a magnetic. I don't believe it's Hall effect, but it is a magnetic field detection system in there. So in the very end of that shaft, or in the tip, there's a very tiny neodymium magnet that creates a magnetic field, and then the board that's under there can detect the orientation of that field. So where the north, where the south pole is. And from there, we do some fancy math and can figure out, I believe it's really accurate. It's like 0.2 degrees or something insane. We can tell what direction that disc is at. So it's really obvious when you open up the diagnostic menu in the game. It's got a readout of like exact angle of where the sensor's pointed. And then additionally, because that's actually hooked into our spy bus that all of the lamp boards run off of, we can sample it really quickly to get velocity measurement. So this thing can not only tell what direction it's heading, where it's facing, but also how fast it's moving at any given time. Which Keith heard that and instantly added the spin left, spin right inserts to the Playfield and started writing directional spins into the rules.
Which is
so it's got that little extra stuff over the traditional old school spinners.
Which is just cool. I was looking at this, and I was going to show later, but since we're talking about it now, I'm very slowly rotating this clockwise, and we could see here.
Oh, cool.
It is changing its position, right, in a 360-degree scale. And, I'm spinning it slow, right, and it's showing at the current pace, I'm going 4 RPM, 14 RPM.
Yeah.
I could rip this thing.
Do it really fast. How fast? Wow.
That's incredible.
Oh my gosh.
It's I think if I had any say in how you guys should start working on new things in the pinball or new mechs, work on these. Do more with this. This is incredible. I think it's really cool.
What's the fastest RPM you got it up to?
I actually don't know. I'm sure there's a theoretical limit, but
it's cool.
Ooh, I saw it hit over 1,000.
So
with the ball smack there.
That's exciting. I'm very easily amused. I like things that spin in circles. So I think that's neat. So as we saw on the premium, this is also a way to lock a ball or to get the ball to stage. So on the premium version, this incredibly simple, complicated, and elegant mechanism needs to move up and down. And Harrison was nice enough to get us some photos of what that mechanism looks like.
Yeah, I'm going to put them up on
And I'm going to move over the computer so I can
number
look.
one.
Cool.
That was probably the number one challenge on this game, was to get something that's, free spinning, 360, no mechanical drag on it, but then also have a mechanism that can slide that shaft axially without dragging when it's down in the playfield spinning position. So basically I went, okay, we just did Jurassic Park, Raptor Pen Gate. I got a pretty good spinner here. Let's see if we can couple these things. So yeah, that's all it really is. It's a little crank with a plate and a fork that goes under a washer on the end of the shaft.
Okay.
It just kind of lifts the whole thing up. Super straightforward, super simple. But then the important bit is, so you still have a good spinning experience on the premium, is when that goes to its down position, that fork plate decouples from the washer on that shaft. So you go back to your no mechanical drag on the spinner.
Very cool. Yeah, and that's like, again, I'm not an engineer, but I can appreciate what you do. That's such a simple way. There's not a lot that can go wrong unless the motor dies, right? It's like, how does it index position? Is there just a limit switch? Are they just micro switches like, hey, I'm up, hey, I'm down, or?
Yeah, so carrying forward with our magnetic switching thing, we had actually done this on Jurassic Park Premium, but for the helicopter, we had also looked into contactless magnetic switching on that.
Oh, wow.
So big challenge on this mechanism was because of the plate and those bearing blocks that are on the left and right side of that lifting mechanism. It's really challenging to get wire dress out of that area without it getting caught up in the mechanism.
Yeah.
So the up-down switches on that, you can probably see a little green board in those screenshots. It's kind of like a horseshoe shape.
Yes.
Maybe from the bottom one. That's actually another magnetic switching system.
Wow.
So that one's not as accurate as the one we used for the disc spinning, but there's a tiny magnet on the crank, and then two magnetic, like proximity magnetic switches in there. So the key to that is when we're designing a mechanism, it doesn't matter where the switch is closed or where it's open. It matters where it transitions. So the software can only tell I went from open to closed. It can't tell I'm closed, or it can, but when we trigger like, okay, stop moving, I'm up, we're looking for the edge of transition from open to close.
I
So
see.
what these mag switches actually get us is they get us a cleaner edge of transitioning, a more repeatable edge than the mechanical switches do. Because in the mechanical one, you have to physically move the switch and get a contact inside there to flip over.
Yeah.
Where these contact is inside the switch, there's a little like leaf spring that has to actually click over, which can be inconsistent in some scenarios. And then optos also have a light problem where you get, light interference that could interfere. So these magnetic switches get us a really clean edge. And then it also lets us drop the cables out the backside. So we got completely clear of that mechanism area to avoid any entanglement issues. And I think it made for a much nicer cable dress on the game.
Yep. And if anyone...
Yeah, it's beautiful. Everyone in the chat saying how clean it looks, how clean the playfield is, and it would be awesome to do maintenance.
Hopefully you don't have to do any.
Nice and
Yeah,
clean.
hopefully there's not much.
But
On the Pro,
that's
at
part
least...
of pinball. That's what a lot of our audience find the most fun too, is working on their game. So
if you have to get in there, it should be easy.
On this game, there isn't a ton unique that looks like it could go wrong, right? The rest of the parts in the game underneath they're all standard things we all know how to mess with, right? There's an up-down post. You've got 3 pop bumpers. You've got 3 flippers. You've got a drop target bank. It's all simple.
There's nothing really exotic on that Pro.
All except for this. This is very exotic because it's new.
Yeah, it's new, but it's simple, right? There's basically like one moving assembly. There's no. Yeah. So just an important note because this is a technical, there is actually an adjustment for that magnetic sensor on both the Premium and the LE.
Okay.
Again, this isn't nearly as sensitive as like an opto setup would be. but you see how the board is kind of like mounted to a steel bracket
Yes.
on a flange.
Yeah.
There's like two screws that go into the sheet metal bracket. Right around the corner from that is a 832 nut, nylon lock nut.
Uh-huh. Oh.
So if you loosen that up, it'll let you adjust the gap of the sensor to the magnet. So you can either, if you're having, issues of detecting the field strength, you can loosen that up, slide it to where it needs to go, tighten it back up, and get a closer gapping of your magnet to your sensor.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. And there is, this is a fine measurement. There's what, an eighth of an inch maybe, just a millimeter or so between where the magnet is and the sensor. But
yeah, it's close, but it's there. And then that diagnostic screen you had up on the LCD, there's a number in the top right that says FS and then some number. That's your field strength, so you can get a feel for how good of a read on that magnet the sensor is currently getting.
that's so cool. That's so neat.
That's awesome.
I'm really excited to see a premium now to see all of those magnetic.
I know.
Sensation.
Yeah. Almost all those features carry over as far as where the adjustment is, the diagnostic menu, the whole thing.
Very cool.
I think, can you guys send us premiums next time? Like, just do a few premiums for the promo.
It'll be soon.
Yeah.
Very soon. Really
Eric,
soon.
John, if you're
We wanna
listening,
see it.
a sample game will be fine.
Come on.
We can have both. It'll be fun.
Yeah, someone mentioned in the chat that it would be cool to have an RPM, like a jackpot or something, like highest RPM scoring. Or do you guys have any?
That might be in there, like a spinner high score. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
That's a Keith and Rick question.
There is stuff for the spinner, but like actually whoever can achieve like the fastest spin, that might be a fun thing, but it might break some of the immersion in the theme, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Otherwise, I think we've kind of gone over. Actually, you know what? Before we put this back down, let's just point out where the other differences on the premium would be, right? So on the premium, the balls would drain into a subway that has a locking mechanism because you actually will physically lock 3 balls underneath this panel, correct?
Yeah, so basically when that disc comes up, there's it looks very similar to what the Pro is. There's a big sheet metal basin basically that has the bearing assembly in it. That's what the ball falls into. It's a big steel bucket basically. And then from there we mounted the vacuum formed subway system to that. So none of the ball entries that are coming in from the disc are falling into the plastic vac form. They're falling into a steel bracket to take that impact.
Very nice.
And then it's just a gravity feed like any other ramp down into the subway. One important note, and because we commonize parts between the Pro and LE, the lamp board that's the strange letters directly in front of the spinning disc, that's actually screwed directly to the playfield because of the premium subway. Normally we're spacing all of our boards off with standoffs, and then all the electronic components go on the wood side. Mm-hmm. But this one, to get extra clearance, so we didn't have to make that subway super deep, we just screwed it directly to the playfield, and then it looks way more complicated than it is because all the components are on the opposite side than they normally are.
Yeah, lots of little surface mount everything's on that thing. But again, with the subway, you do have like a physical ball locking mechanism, right? So what do we have going on there?
Yeah, so it was literally the week before the COVID shutdowns happened. Keith and I were standing around the whitewood in the lab, and I had the subway on there. It had the disc scoop. It had the VUC exit. But we're like, this needs something else, right? The subway, it was just going to be like a portal shot. It went in, came out. We're like, we need to do something else. So we were brainstorming about different ways to lock balls down there. It was going to be like a 3 outpost thing, but eventually we came around to Flight 2000, which is, that's Gary Stern's favorite game. Gary's going to love this. So yeah, with the way the rules are set up with the portal locks, basically we went, okay, we can lock 3 balls down there, 3 portal locks. Perfect mechanism for it. So from there, we actually went over to there's like a private arcade a few blocks from Stern that had a Flight 2000 in it. So we go over there, lift the hood up on that thing, and I start reverse engineering this mech that's 40 years old.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and so one important note: it is scaled up from Flight 2000, so the parts aren't interchangeable. Due to the way the windows are spaced out, we had to stretch it about 15-20%. But functionally and theoretically, it's all exactly the same.
That's awesome.
One big challenge, though, the Flight 2000 one, because the lock was on the playfield.
Yeah.
That mechanism was designed to screw to the bottom of the playfield. So you'll see on an Avengers Premium, we had to create this like massive bracket to drop the entire mechanism down under the vacuum form subway. So it's kind of like this like U channel inside a U channel to hold that mechanism at the correct angle.
I was gonna say,
and then that metal bracket
cool,
also holds all the optos for detecting which balls are locked. And
okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
it's a beast. We call it the shark fin because it's like it sticks out like 6 inches below the bottom.
Oh, I had a weird question that you guys may have already covered. When the balls get in the premium, when the balls get locked in the subway, then where do they go after that?
How do they get out?
Yeah, how do they get out?
Somewhere over here.
Yeah, so that whole subway system feeds to the middle right side of the playfield. There's a like a scoop, basically. It's a vertical up kicker.
Cool.
It's on the Pro. It's a stand-up target because we didn't have a subway. Didn't need a scoop there.
Which is right here.
But yeah, it'll up kick it through the playfield into a horseshoe catch, sort of like Batman, into the Captain Marvel ramp. So you go from in the subway through the Flight 2000 lock into a scoop, out into a ramp, and then to your right flipper.
That's nuts. Awesome.
Kind of hard to envision, but take a look at the pictures on Stern's website. They have some good close-ups of how the Captain Marvel ramp interacts with the other ramp that is on the right side of this playfield. It's cool. It's really cool. That's exciting. That's neat.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. Now I'm really sad that it'll be a little while until I can see all that fun stuff we just talked about on the premium, but I'm very happy with having this here for now. This is very fun. So.
Yeah, but the LEs are on the line.
Yeah, LEs are on the line. Those are shipping out here. Yeah. I mean, I think they already left, actually.
Yeah, Kyle
first
just buy
container,
an
I think,
LE.
left Tuesday. So.
Oh, yeah. I could totally just buy it. Someone want to trade something? You can have Kings of Steel. I'll trade for an LE. That's fair, right?
I don't have one to trade either.
Yeah.
Just because we work in the industry doesn't mean we can have all the cool stuff. There'd be no one could buy them if we got to buy them all. So.
Yeah. Someone asked how many LEs have shipped. How many LEs is for this game, Avengers?
It'll be 500 total LEs.
500?
They started shipping Monday, I believe. So.
Nice.
Very cool.
Within the next 2-3 weeks, they should be showing up in distributors.
Yeah, harass your distributor. Awesome. Ask them when your LE is going to be there. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Probably already sold.
I'm pretty sure the couple that we have allocated, they sold very fast. Everyone is very excited about this game.
We sold all of our Avengers within the day it was announced. I mean, it's an incredible release.
In minutes.
I remember when I worked for a distributor, though, it's like people that bought the LEs, they were very adamant on calling every other day. Do you know when it's going to be here yet? Do you know when it's going to be here yet?
They're just excited.
Not yet. But, no, very cool. I think you should be very proud of your work on this game. It's very cool. It's very unique, and I think it's going to do very well for Stern. I'm very lucky that I got to play it so quick, and hopefully all y'all in the chat are excited to play it too, even though we are in weird times. You probably will have the chance to play it soon, and you will enjoy it. I know it.
Well, one of the questions I had, and I'm sure Keith answered this on the podcast and stuff he's on, but for you, Harrison, what is it like working with your team in this kind of more rigid COVID landscape where it's a lot of Zoom calls and stuff instead of, being all there around in a round table and making your decisions?
Yeah, I mean, I personally, I love it. Keith said the same. We were actually just talking about this at lunch. Like the flexibility of you don't have to come into the office every day, right? There's a lot of days I come in, I'm just doing CAD design work. I'm sitting in my cube for 8 hours and I go home and don't talk to a soul. It's like, why do I need to come to the office for that? Right? So it's been a nice change of pace. And then I think on the other hand too, it's like when you do come into the office, you're usually coming in for a reason. So, you come in, you talk about what you need to talk about, you change what you need to change, get it done, and you're on. So personally, I think it improved our efficiency in getting stuff done and, decisions getting made and the whole game cycle.
Nice.
I can't speak for Rick because Rick, so I run the engineering for the game alone, but like Rick has 3-4 support programmers that, he's working with daily. So I'm sure he's got a totally different opinion than Keith and I, but.
Sure. So for the engineering side, you guys like it?
For us, awesome. Yeah, it's a godsend.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, I'm collecting Q&A questions in the chat. We'll be doing that soon. We have another giveaway coming out. Harrison, do you have any type of like cool anecdotal stories about making the Avengers? Are you like, do you really love this theme? Was this theme calling to you? Are you a comics person? I know I heard Keith had to buy all the comics and read up on it. So, what was your experience?
The best opportunity for getting into a license was certainly the please social distance and stay at home for months on end, and we'll talk to you when you come back to the office. So literally the first 2 weeks of the quarantine, I had never actually watched most of the MCU, so I watched all 24 movies, whatever it is.
Wow.
Bought the comics and read those. I'm like, I'm super bored.
You're just Avengers binging. Nice.
Yeah, wow. Binged the whole thing in about 2-3 weeks. That's
impressive.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Was anyone else on the team super passionate about the license? I mean, obviously, y'all are passionate about the license because you put together a neat story and a cool package, but like, no one was like, oh my gosh, Avengers, like this is great.
Yeah, I mean, so Rick had read the comics back in the 90s. He was a fan of them. Wason's a big Marvel guy here too. He was involved in script development, kind of working out the characters, that sort of thing. So yeah, we had quite a few people here that were super excited to be working on this. Keith and I'm not going to claim we were, big fans, but we definitely get into it. It's like all the stuff we do here, right? Even if you're not a fan, you eventually love it by the time you're done.
Sure.
For sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome. Let's see. I have a question. I don't know if you can even answer this question, but
I'll talk to my lawyers.
For life. I know, right? How many games fit in an overseas container? That kind of sounds like a trivia question.
Honestly, even if I could answer that, I don't know the answer.
You're an engineer, you should know. So the size of an average container is...
Considering the box hasn't changed size in,
unloaded
40 years, I'm sure somebody here knows, the person that figured it out is long retired. Sure. But
I've never unloaded boxed games from an overseas container, but I helped a friend of mine unload one of the stubbier containers that we got from Italy, and there was 30 or 40 pinball games in there. So you can fit a lot. I guess it depends on how many you want to stack on top of each other also, but
all right, well, here's a much better question that maybe you can answer potentially from FD Zombie Dog. Have there been any changes on the ball guides for clear coating or other changes for durability?
Nothing official. I'll say that. We did make a conscious effort to. A lot of Keith's games are pretty dark, especially Iron Maiden. So we did consciously cut open some bigger openings in the ball guides to get a little bit more GI into the lanes. So you'll notice that, but
yeah. That's huge.
The game is very bright. When I was setting it up to stream last week, I didn't have to add a lot of external light to make it look bright on camera. So that is much appreciated.
Yeah, we went back to cool white GI for the game too, just to kind of, those are a lot brighter than the warm we used on Jurassic, and they fit the theme better.
That makes sense.
Awesome.
Any other, and I guess I've asked you this a few times for other titles, and maybe we've touched on this, but like, again, biggest design challenge of this game, would you say that it absolutely was the spinning disc up and down?
Yeah, so the spinning disc, it wasn't hard to make the parts, but it was hard to come up with the concept, right?
Okay.
So a lot of the challenge with what we do is not the what do we need to do, and it's not the like what do the parts need to look like to do this mechanism. It's that creating and ideating that mechanism that meets all of your design requirements and gameplay requirements. So specific to Avengers, yeah, it was definitely that the decoupling aspect of the lift mechanism and the bearing assembly.
That's very cool. I guess also hard to keep things within budget too. So you can dream really big, but making these elegant things that work well, like.
Yeah, so there's two ways to think about BOM, right? There's like the macro BOM, and then there's like the micro BOM, right? So, yes, we're a business. We have a target we have to reach, right? That's no secret. But the way we go about doing that, there's two ways to approach it. You can either like, I want 600 drop targets on a game. Yeah, that's not going to work, right? But 3, and I can make a really cool rule set around that. That's a lot more achievable. So you get so many dollars to work with there. Then the other way we handle it, and Keith, I know on that Franchi podcast has given me some props for this, but it's the micro BOM management. It's like, how many spade bolts do you really need to screw down a ball guide, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you put 12, yeah, it's going to stick to that playfield, but you're paying for 12, right? Where if like 4 suffices or 3, why not, right? And then if you do enough of that micro BOM management, you end up having more room because all the individual things cost less to put more in the game. So that's kind of our philosophy that we've used for basically everything I've worked on is make the individual stuff affordable to allow you to have more total in the game.
Sure. That makes sense. And just in case anyone doesn't know, BOM or BOM is bill of material, which is every single piece that goes in to make the game.
And it's, again, like any other business too, it's more than just bill of materials, right? It's labor, it's shipping, it's all that. You got to think of the whole thing start to finish.
In assembly too, right? Again, it's like an engineer can come up with anything, but is it possible to put that together, you know?
Here's perspective, right? And these are totally different mechs, but like the up-down disc on the premium is like 2 people, 2 work cells. You know, they can do quite a few a day. Jurassic Park T-Rex, that was like 6 people, like 4 work cells. It was a significantly more labor investment. And you know the part cost may not be totally comparable, but it's still, you know, that's the sort of thing you have to think of when you're designing these mechanisms is, okay, this is what it needs to do, this is what it is, this is what the part looks like, but can we reasonably build this within our constraints and our manufacturing environment?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's interesting to think about. Are you in charge, or is there a team that kind of dishes out that kind of work, how it will be done on the assembly line? I know you have to have something to do with it, but
yeah, I mean, if you're not thinking about how it's built, you're not a very good engineer, right? Because that's part of the job. So yes, you have to at least have an understanding of how it works out there, what they need to do, what sort of tools they're using. You know, you got to, and that goes all the way down to service, right? No one wants to have 15 different size nut drivers to take apart a game. Like, if you can standardize everything on like 1/4 inch 5/16 and number 2 Phillips, you're going to be golden because pretty much every tech has that in their tool bag.
That's like one of Kyle's pet peeves is having to like pull out the different tools. He's like, why can't they just be all the same?
Yeah, no, I mean, we really have to consciously look at that and be like, okay, you know, this is something someone's reasonably going to take apart. This is how it's meant to be serviced, and choose fasteners and head types and all that to account for that. But that helps our line out. That helps out service ops. It helps out the dude in his house trying to debug something.
Yeah.
But as far as like order of assembly, yeah, I have to know it, but I'm not the one writing work instructions and designing, you know, assembly fixtures. We have a manufacturing team to do that.
Nice.
I want to talk to those
All right, guys.
They might be interesting.
We should do that one time. Okay, so we're going to do another quick giveaway. Since Robert McBee never responded to us, you guys got to be here on the stream to win. I'm going to pick another one for the Project Pinball raffle ticket for the Avengers Infinity Quest Premium. And the winner is Andy Lattig. I'll put your name up on here, and then let's do another one. This will be for a Marco Pinball hat. At the end of the stream, we'll do the Avengers banner.
Oh, yeah.
You might get a new Marco Pinball hat. These things are awesome. I wear mine every day. It's so comfy.
Emoto really wanted me to put one on today.
Do you wear hats, Harrison? I'll send you one.
My quarantine mullet. I was wearing a Cubs hat almost every day.
Oh man, we need to get you.
I had my high schooler hair flip thing come on. It was terrible.
Yeah.
You should have kept it. You didn't have to cut your mullet off for the stream.
I needed to cut it off.
All right. So the winner of the hat is
me.
Where do I pick? Rebecca Salem. So if Andy or Rebecca are in the chat, shoot us a message and we'll send you guys some cool stuff. Awesome.
So what questions do we have for the Q&A? Is it about Q&A time?
Yeah.
Because I can sit here and talk about manufacturing logistics all day long. Fast. I just don't think anyone else wants to talk about manufacturing logistics. So
we got some good questions. Let's see. Let me add this person's name first.
Oh, sorry. You got to put the names up.
So good. Okay, so one of the questions we had, and you guys can keep adding questions into the chat, but these are some of the earlier questions. We kind of went over this, but it would be interesting to touch again, Harrison. When designing Avengers Playfield, how close does the final version compare to the initial design for the Avengers?
Depends what you call the initial design, right? So we do so much ideation in the early development of the game. It's, you know, we have ideas that just got scrapped. Like we tried it once, instantly gone. In the case of Avengers, we only added stuff after Whitewood 1, if that makes sense. So like at Whitewood 1, the subway system wasn't an idea yet. The walk lock wasn't an idea yet. All that got added after that first real Whitewood. And then there was tweaks here and there of parts, but I mean, we weren't like, oh God, that's too expensive, cut that. That didn't happen. Honestly, that didn't happen on any of our games.
Huh.
Nice.
You guys are a well-oiled team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, here's an interesting tidbit, right? The 3-bank drop target grid concept on the left, that was originally on Jurassic Park. And we'd come up with it there. Keith had that drawn for a few years, and we tried it there. It didn't work, so we pulled it. And it wasn't a cost thing. It was what makes the best game. You know, this is a cool idea, but it doesn't fit with this game, so we're going to save it for something that worked. It does make sense. And Avengers Computer is a perfect thing for that.
Interesting.
Nice.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right, Harrison, here's a really easy one for you. Where did you go to school, and what did you major in?
Yeah, okay, so I went to Purdue University in West Lafayette, mechanical engineering major.
Very cool.
And then, yeah.
They don't do, like, majors in pinball yet?
No. I've definitely seen some college stuff that involves pinball, but it's not a major. Although there's quite a few schools where you can, like, create your own engineering degree, so I'm sure you could convince some professor into that.
For sure. Let's see. I don't know if you can answer this one. Everyone always asks the questions that you're like,
What's the next
I don't know if I can
game?
answer. But yeah, so will Avengers be the first game to do one player versus one player via the internet? So internet connectivity.
I can't answer that.
It was asked like a million times. I know. His phone starts ringing immediately.
I've got a question
Just
that's kind
invite your friends over.
Player versus player. Did this game ever have any idea for a co-op style gameplay?
Yeah, so just in general, I think co-op at Stern is probably something we all want to add. But as far as software development roadmaps and schedules, you know, it's not the number one priority, but you know, we definitely hear the community and are definitely taking that into consideration as far as when we plan to prioritize software developments.
Yeah, I could
That's
see how it
awesome.
would fit into the kind of the story of the game. And I mean, it's like the Avengers, assemble, right? Assemble your 4 friends and fight together. I do think it was
Yeah.
neat how it was implemented into Turtles. I think that was a great way to do it. And personally, I like working with my friends instead of competing with them. So
Yeah,
it's cool.
and honestly, for like getting new kids into pinball too, right? It's the Turtles format was definitely really good at that.
Yeah.
They did have the advantage of choose your turtle, which we don't have in Avengers, so we'll have to kind of tweak it a little bit to get it to fit within this rule structure. But
Yeah, that's true. I think you guys have the right team to do it, though. If it ever does happen, I think I totally got fooled because right when I tuned into Jack Danger's stream on the premium, like when it was revealed, like people were like on the tail end of a co-op joke. And then when we started streaming it on Friday, I guess that turned into a joke. And people were like, why don't you play co-op? And I was like, oh, how do you do that? I was like trying to do it like how you do it on Turtles. And they're like, oh, we were just pulling a chain. I'm like, dang it.
the one thing that is already in that was popular in Jurassic, and it's already in the pros, is we added the challenge mode. That's already in release shipping code. I believe it's Battle Royale mode. You can start from the flipper button.
Oh, neat.
Oh, wow.
Huh. I'll have to try that out.
Yeah, I think it's hold right or hold left. It's the same thing as Turtles, but that mode's already deployed because that was really popular in Jurassic. So we're like, okay, we need to get this in. So.
Yeah, that is a neat thing on Jurassic Park. I haven't gotten to mess with it much, but I do think that's fun. Kind of a glimpse at the wizard mode sort of thing.
Nice. What was that? Oh, are there any video modes, or will there be in Avengers?
I'm not going to sign Keith up, but I know he does not like video modes.
That's what I thought.
Good.
Yeah. Someone asked about Midnight Madness too, and I think that's
a Dwight thing.
Dwight's software specific thing. That's like his little.
Who likes video modes, really? Steve is pointing at himself. Steve likes video modes, but I can point to like maybe 3 video modes that I ever want to see.
The only one I enjoy is Star Wars.
What?
Yeah.
You don't like shooting toast at Spike on Junkyard? Shooting toast at a dog?
I like shooting the
Star Wars
werewolves
one
on
is really
Dracula.
good.
That's probably the only video mode I really like.
That was cool too, yeah.
But it's
Or
also
like in
something-
Harley Davidson, you're like driving in between the traffic on the
Avoiding
405.
traffic,
It's so good. No? Okay.
Well, maybe the chat is totally going to be like, Kyle, you are so dumb and you're so wrong. Video modes are awesome. And that's fine.
Yeah, someone said I like the saucer defense and Attack from Mars.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that
Fishtails
one
video
too.
mode's good.
I like that one too. Okay, fine. I won't give my opinions anymore. I defeat my opinions all the time.
Maybe one day, Keith. Keith, I know during the COVID, he played a lot of Animal Crossing, so maybe that will inspire him to add some cute video modes for us.
The entirety of Stern. Everyone that has
all of
Switch
it. Were
has
you
played
on Animal Crossing too, Harrison?
I actually don't have a Switch, but there was a really large chunk of the company that was. They were trying to get all 6 pinball machines or 5 or whatever it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
My wife built me an
yeah.
arcade in Animal Crossing, and I think it's awesome. I wish I had an arcade on a beach. I wish that was like a viable environment.
Awesome. Very cool. Let's see. What other questions do we have in the chat? Everyone's talking about.
Video modes? Are we polarized on video modes?
Can you engineer remote switch? I have to like. I don't know if you want to answer that one. Maybe you can answer this one. Are new games test played before shipping, and how long do you play each machine? Every single game?
Every single one is tested by multiple people. Yeah, so we have
That's so much testing.
Yeah, it's a lot. Now the testing is not. It's not like, hey, go drop some quarters in and go play it for an hour, and if it doesn't break, like, no. We have a very regimented, like, things to check, things to adjust, doing a full quality inspection of playfield decals, armor, all that. Basically, yeah, we're not just, like, playing the game. There's, like, a very set of things to go through on every single title, and that list changes for every title.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's
in
nuts.
every.
How
I
long
mean,
does like one play testing session last?
Again, I don't know if play testing is the right term. They do play it, but not like you'd think. But
Sure.
I mean, they're essentially.
I'd say honestly.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know the rates. I really actually don't know the rates. So I mean, it's more than like 30 seconds. I'll say that it's probably in the like 20 to 20-ish minute range. But
that guy's got a cool job. If you want to be a playtester at Stern Pinball, send a resume.
Yeah, it's a whole department. There's like 6 of them back there. Every single game. And then during the LE ship, every single one of those gets played by either myself or Keith just to go through them, sign off on them, make sure they're tip top. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to see all the test rigs that you have at Stern. I bet they're pretty cool.
Awesome. Let's see. Any other questions for Harrison before we make him go back to work? Are you already working on your next game?
Yes,
we keep you guys busy over there, right?
So here's perspective. We started concept on that in March. Wow. So, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you guys should always be working from home and you'll just keep pumping out these amazing games super fast.
Like, hey, Gary, can we do like 10 games a year? Like, if we work from home?
10? Whoa, don't give him any ideas here.
No, we gotta slow it down because y'all are putting out like too many good games in rapid succession. I want all of them. I mean, when Iron Maiden came out, I was like, oh, I want Iron Maiden, right? There's no way there could be any game better than Iron Maiden. And then Deadpool came out. And I was like, crap, now I need to buy 2 games. And then, Jurassic Park came out. I was like, crap, now it's 3 games. And now I'm tens of thousands of dollars behind in purchasing new games.
And that's why we run them for multiple years.
Yes, that's amazing. Maybe I will have that chance.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to pull another name for this Project Pinball because no one answered. Brian Carty, are you here?
Wow.
And if you are, you could be the winner.
These poor people.
And again,
Brian.
We're giving you some time to say you're here. Let your friend text you to say you're here. But you got to be here. You got to claim your prize. Everyone else that's here is like, what? What about me? Awesome. What are you going to do?
Do you have do you have a go-to game that you like to play at the factory, Harrison, or is it you're playing whatever is new?
Oh yeah. So the nice thing is Rick's office is directly behind me. So there's been an Avengers Premium sitting in there for like 6 months now. So usually when I'm like getting frustrated or something, I just need a break. I'll go play that. So it's I'll go with the whatever I'm working on, what's new. Option there, but
fair enough. Maybe this is too hard of a question, but what's your favorite arcade in Chicago?
Oh, the first one I ever went to, like when I started here, I'm like, I need to go learn how to play pinball, was Headquarters down in River North. But personal favorite of mine, it's Logan Arcade, right? That place is awesome.
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can play pretty much anything from any decade at any time.
Even not being like the best arcade in Chicago or whatever, it's also definitely one of the best arcades in the entire country. It's such an amazing spot. Kyle, you need to check it out. Your face of like no expression makes me realize that you've never been there because you would be like, yes.
I've never been to Chicago, but I'm very excited to go to Chicago because I have a long list of people that work at Stern that said they are going to buy me lunch or dinner. So I can go to Chicago for like a month maybe, and I will not have to pay for a meal. So I'm waiting.
You got a tab running over here.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely have a lot of burgers to eat with Vinicor. That's exciting. I need to go to Logan. Crystal talks about it all the time. It sounds great. I mean, any arcade that represents every decade of pinball is the best arcade in my book. You have to have a short flipper EM, a long flipper EM, and then everything else in between new and that. It's like, that's necessary. So it's exciting.
Yeah. Mugen says the pizza is also killer. Oh, and they have the tamale guy.
Yeah, tamale guy. Yeah.
So this guy just comes in randomly, Kyle, like in the middle of the night with a cooler, and it's either blue or red.
Yep.
And then there are different type of tamales for each one, and you like pay him $1 or something for this nice hot tamale, and you're like,
I could use like 10 of those right now. That sounds
I know,
great.
right?
Let's see, what other, did we get a response yet? Did someone say here with a lot of exclamation points?
No.
Oh my gosh.
No. Everyone's like, I want that ticket.
Are we gonna have to like rapid fire it?
Yeah, we will at the end. But so, Harrison, can you answer this question? How many engineers work at Stern and work with you on your team?
Okay, there are 4 or 5 total. So basically how it works, we're all usually someone's just coming off a game and someone's just starting a game. So my job title is lead engineer. We're all leads. But we can all be support on anyone else's game at any given time, just depending on where we are in the cycle. I haven't supported on anyone since Black Knight, just because Keith's, he's just pumping these, gold standard games out every 12 months. So I've been pretty busy, but there's 5 of us here.
Wow, that's awesome. And what is your favorite Stern game that you did not work on?
Did not work on.
Ooh,
I really like Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is fun.
It is a fun
game. The whole
game.
sound package is just really great.
It's held up, I think, very well. It's very kinetically pleasing. I still really like Ghostbusters.
Kinetically satisfying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Satisfying, pleasing,
It's awesome. Do you own any games, Harrison?
I don't.
Do you own any
I don't.
games?
Nope. I have the Stern Arcade here every day, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess that's the thing with working for a distributor. Well, I guess I've worked for a Stern distributor in one form or another for a long time now, so I've always had a complete lineup of brand new Stern games to play for almost a decade, so
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, so here's a great theoretical question. If you could own one pinball game, and it doesn't, what would it be?
All right, so I was really close to buying a Jurassic Park last year. I really liked that game. That game was a ton of fun to work on. Closest I've gotten, I have a Jurassic Park T-Rex at home sitting above my desk, but someday I will get one.
I should buy one of those and then have Guido write something so I could run it off like a Raspberry Pi and make it like talk to me or something.
There is a stand for a T-Rex that exists. I believe Andrew has it right now. So you can do the Billy Bass thing with the T-Rex.
Oh my God, I need that.
That would be awesome.
That's awesome. That's fun.
Yeah.
So nobody wants that. So how many times do we have to try to give away this raffle ticket until I can just say I want it?
Well, what we can do is Harrison's a busy man. We can say goodbye to him, and then we can spend the next 10 minutes trying to pick a winner.
We could.
So you're not over here just being like, I'm going to go through this list of like 400 people and pick a winner.
I
got to work on
Harrison,
this
what's
giveaway
your
system.
favorite pizza? Like, what's your favorite movie? You don't have to answer them.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Seriously, though, Harrison, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
We had a great time talking to Elliot, and we have an awesome time talking to you. You guys are really cool, and we can't wait to see what your next pinball machine is, even though a lot of us haven't seen Avengers in the flesh, too. But
Yeah.
by the time we do get to see it, then you guys are going to be pumping out another game anyway. So.
Hopefully sooner, but yeah. So, well, thank you. This has been fun.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
All right. So everyone say bye to Harrison.
So I'm gonna
Get back
disappear
to
off
work.
the screen.
George Gomez cracking the whip.
Yeah. Auf Wiedersehen. See you later.
All right.
Man,
I made him.
I wish we
made
could
him
get.
go away. I know. I wish he could stay with us for forever.
It's
really
fun
cool.
talking to fun people like that. It's fun talking to people that work in the different side of the industry, right? I could sit and talk to people who work on pinball games all day, and that's like one sort of fun. I could talk to my coworkers and buying parts and getting stuff made, and that's fun. But it's really fun to talk to the people that actually put this crap together.
Yeah, I love the whole dream maker thing because, like, seriously, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I think what he said verbatim is like, I take Keith's fever dreams and try to make them a reality. I always tell people I'm the dream maker. It's like,
that's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. Takes lots of skill to do that. All right, so everyone wants to win some stuff. So since we're at the end of this, let's draw some more names, guys. What's going on here?
I don't blame you for wanting to win some stuff. Those hats are pretty rad, and this game is like really rad. So,
how should we do this? Okay, new name. This will be for a hat. I wonder if I should just reset it.
Reset
Christopher
what?
White.
Christopher White. Are you here? Do you want to win something? Come on.
Yeah, everyone, look under your seats. There's Marco hats for everybody.
Yeah, you get a hat, and you get a hat.
That would be so funny. Hold on. Let me fix me. I'm cut off. Thank you, Harrison. You are awesome. I hope we can get him back on the show.
I'm sure I could pull a string and be like, hey, don't you miss us?
Good. Yeah.
Maybe I should text Vinicor and see if he wants to jump on tonight. Might be too short notice, but we'll see.
How did you get into my house? Okay. Christopher White.
Are you here? Christopher White. And we didn't talk about, while we're waiting for him to respond, I mean, this game does have a cool package. The art is incredible. And Turtles, we got to talk with Jeremy, aka Zombie Yeti, who's been putting out just like these insanely beautiful art packages for Stern. But I don't know, did Thompson do the sound for this game?
Yes.
Yeah, and again, it's like you've got two games back to back with like just great combinations of sound and art and gameplay. The last two games really are elevating Stern's level of quality. Again, it's like, I could sit here and think about Iron Maiden, and that game is great, but there is something that has been a continuous improvement since then. The light shows and the way that the sound interacts and the way that it's incredible. The choreography of the games are just getting better and better in the last 3 years. It's incredible. Sound is important to me.
Yeah.
I have a game that had one channel of the audio out, and I just like couldn't bear to play it until I fixed it.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about the art, but boy, is it gorgeous. Yeah, Zombie Yeti does he sleep? Who knows? No, he doesn't sleep.
He's a zombie.
He just is constantly making amazing art using amazing colors.
And they're doing fun stuff too. Like, I mean, look at the instruction cards, right?
Oh, I like that.
It's like,
I loved the turtles one with all the baby turtles, and then this one's even great too.
It's fun.
Oh, that's really cool. Look at that.
Yeah, wow. I think it's like.
Ooh, look at the Hulk hand where the ball plunger is. What?
A lot of people will take these things off and put some goofy, maybe artwork that doesn't fit with the game anyways. So now Stern is like, well, heck, let's just make it look really good. And if you're going to go put it on location, just put your dollar thing or your pricing sign that's included, right? I think that's cool. I like how this insert for the star in Captain America's shield, you can't really tell it's an insert until it lights up. That's kind of neat. Fun things like, the way that the slingshots aren't like a uniform triangle.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it has a Doctor Strange and the...
It's just neat, right? And it's like this stuff makes things a little more expensive. And it's like, but why not? It makes the game look so cool. Let's just do it. It's fun, man. If you can get it at this angle, you can kind of see the almost three-dimensional effect with that LED board underneath. How there's that plastic underneath where the subway would be on the premium. There's some cool stuff going on.
So much details. You could just spend all day just staring at it and then finding like little Easter egg details every time.
And again, something I really like doing is like looking at how the vertical space is used and just like looking at this crazy mess of ramps. And again, think about with the premium's going to have a whole other ridiculous massive ramp on the right side over there.
Yeah.
It's pretty
All right,
neat, man.
Steve Penza. Steve Penza, we are calling you once and twice. Are you here? What should I do next time to make this, to rapid fire them? But you got to give a chance for people to respond, right? Steve Penza, come on down.
A minute or two. Anyways, there's your tour of the Avengers, kind of.
I know. Everyone's like, what about that? Yeah, maybe I should have separated them.
What?
Everyone's like, that's not how you spell my name.
I'm excited to play this thing now.
Yeah, they said while we call random people's names to claim these prizes, you should play a game.
It's gonna be loud.
Yeah, Mutterfutter, I think that's a good idea.
The glass isn't on.
Next time I'm going, well, I'll make two different giveaways. One for people that don't join the stream, like this 400 people that are not answering. And don't make us re-enter. Yeah, just pick the name listed from the chat at the top of the chat registration.
I think that sounds fair.
When you get here.
Should I slide
I wish
the
I
glass
could just see everyone's names that are here and pick from that.
Hold on, y'all. We'll have a obviously much better setup stream of gameplay tonight, but I'm gonna kind of try to flip it, see if I could get this glass on in tight quarters here.
Yeah, pin stem, that's a great idea. Yes, that's what I was thinking. Hats for the people not on the stream, raffle tickets for those who are. Hats for everybody again.
Yeah, hey!
Wait 1 minute and move on. All right, I'm picking another name.
I think that's only fair, right? Like,
the next name is Scott Lyons. Scott Lyons?
Scott Lyons. Are you here?
New winner. Scott Lyons.
Oh, now we're getting a ton of glare.
The rule said you had to be present to win. Yeah, that's what I wanted. And then everyone signed up and they didn't show up probably because they're at work. Is Scott Lyons here? No.
This is a very pathetic camera setup, but whatever.
You're doing great. Well, I'm trying to give people free stuff. Free from me. Next. Okay, next. I know, I'm not going to even put their name on this thing. Next winner, if you're listening.
Oh!
We're going to keep picking until someone says something. Martin Britt. Martin Britt. Is Martin Britt here? Cue the countdown. That's not me. All right, I'm picking again.
Do it.
Bob Murray. Bob Murray, are you here? 10 seconds. 10, 9, Bob Murray.
10 seconds
Bill
is
Murray?
a little brutal.
Nope. His cousin Bob. What about Bob? Bob Murray. Nope. Josh Matoska. Josh Matoska. Would you like to win a prize, Josh Matoska? No, same initials don't count. Like, yeah, we should use a chatbot, but the thing is, we stream across 3 platforms. So a lot of the Twitch chatbots that I'd love to use do not work. Okay, new name, Patrick Holly. Hello, Patrick. Patrick Holly. Martin Britt. I called Martin Britt. Did someone get Martin Britt in here? Martin Britt is here.
Prove it.
Dang, Martin is here.
Hey. Hey, good on you.
Awesome.
Thanks for reading the rules.
Okay, awesome. Martin, you just won a raffle ticket for a chance to win the Avengers Premium for Project Pinball.
Man, this game's fun. Oh.
Yeah, let's see. So Martin, send a email to us at marcotv.com. Britt, send your address to marcotv at marcopinball.com to claim your prize. Okay. This one's going to be, since, you know, we're like, oh, we got to give people a chance to, like, get in. If you use the buddy system to be like, hey, your name just got called and you're sitting in your conference call at work with your phone on silent over here trying to win, you know, I'll give you a break on that, right?
I can almost see what's going on.
Yeah. So Martin Britt, congratulations. Our last one that we're going to do, and we'll do more for Marco after hours, but like you guys said, I'll post a fresh link and I'll let everyone in the chat sign up there, and then it'll be a more consolidated list, so I'm not over here leaking holes.
Where is that one? Where's that one?
Yeah, active watchers should have priority. Yeah, true that. So for after hours, 100%, we're going to clean this up. But let's pick up another random name to win this Avengers banner, because we have two of them. I want to give away one on this stream and then one tonight when we're all just kicking it and hanging out, having a good time.
This game is leaning
we
to the
did this
left.
For you guys. I'm sorry it's complicated. Okay, Mark Zahner. You have 10 seconds to answer for your Avengers banner, otherwise it's going to someone else.
10 seconds?
Mark Zahner here. Ooh, Mugen, you bought the premium. That's awesome. That game looks so good. Yeah, it would look great, like right next to it. 10-9, Dalton's counting. Mark Zahner. Mark Zahner. Zahner is here. Do we see Zahner here? MLZ Pinhead is saying that Mark Zahner is here. Who is Zahner?
Oh.
MLZ Pinhead is Zahner? Alright. Yeah, see, I got an email from Rebecca. She was on top of it. Yeah, Restream's lag is pretty bad.
Yeah, let's give them a second. 10 seconds.
I mean, how do we get in for these giveaways? So, Mark Zahner, you win the banner. Right? As long as you send me an email to Mark Zahner, please send me an email to marcotv at marcopinball.com to claim your prize. Oh, yeah, I guess. All right. Mark Zahner, please send us an email.
Mark Zahner, please stand up.
Send email, yeah. Join our Zoom call and show us your face, and then we can give you a banner. Email too.
This game's fun. I like this game. I like every game.
Oh yeah, sure. Send me a whisper. Whisper. Oh, is this what we look like on Twitch? Nice. I have to calibrate my monitors. right. Well, you know what, guys? That's it. I'm over this. I'm flipping the table. So tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, we are going to do another giveaway for a banner, some hats, some shirts. We have these cool centigrade shirts that we want to give away. And you're going to have to re-sign up. So when you join tonight at 8 for our Marco After Hours stream, I'll post a new sign-up link. I'll post it throughout the chat, and you'll sign up there, and we'll pull from that name, and it'll be awesome, right?
Yeah, and everyone will be
How long
here.
is After Hours? We'll be going from around 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., 2 hours like this show. But maybe, I know. Every time I do a giveaway, I will give time for people to sign up and then clear it.
That sounds pretty fair. You have to be here to hear it happen. You sign up, and then you might win because you'll still be here.
We're just trying to give away free stuff to you guys. Okay, cool. Everyone's in agreement. Thank you.
All right.
8 p.m. Eastern, so 7 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m.
Math? You got it?
Pacific,
Yep.
6 p.m. Mountain.
I always forget that time zone exists.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Baba Hafez. I love that name. If you guys are looking for something to do in between our streams, Stern Pinball did launch the inaugural Stern Pinball, the Stern Heads Up Pinball Invitational featuring Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it's a crazy heads up style tournament. I worked on it. I helped create it. I did a lot of the editing, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And I hope we can do it for more games in the future.
Yeah, it was fun. I watched a little bit of it, or a good portion of it yesterday. It's pretty cool. Watch it.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah. Oh, Chuck Casey. Thank you, everyone. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for being patient with my giveaways. I hope everyone enjoyed the conversation with Harrison as much as we did. He was really cool to talk to, right?
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Awesome. Very smart. Glad they just find such great people to be on their team. Like Stern has been killing it. They have such a all-star team of people creating these games. So, yay!
Good stuff.
Yep. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you tonight.
In a few hours.
Bring your beverages and come to win some cool free stuff. And we are going to be playing Avengers, of course. And hopefully I can get a really cool spinner cam shot.
We'll make something happen.
Yay.
We'll nail that spinner. It'll be pretty cool.
Yep, back to work with you all.
Yeah, bye.
All right, bye, everybody. Oh, look at these things just still sticking out. Oh, we should raid someone.
Oh, who are we going to raid? Who wants to get raided?
Who wants to get raided? Oh, we have to raid Mystery Pinball Theater 3000.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is a very, very entertaining show. If you guys have not seen their show, Mystery Pinball Theater 3000, you are in for a treat right now.
Yes, spend some time watching it. It's amazing.
He'll pop in and out. I watched one where he was playing Star Trek, and then he went into another room and played a Star Trek episode and did the Mystery Science Theater commentary, and then came back and played the game too. It's great. Yeah, it's awesome.
I'd love to watch Star Trek with pinball people. Does anyone want to start doing a Star Trek pinball crossover thing on Zoom? Let's do it.
Did you watch my Star Trek movie yet?
I watched the first half of it, and then I went on vacation, and I didn't get to finish it.
It must have not been very good.
No, it was very good. No,
all right,
it's very
bye,
good.
everybody.
Oh my god.
Oh no, it crashed.
No, it's still there. End stream.